Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Unavoidable, Adventures in Aging, where Sue and Shan, two Midwest, well-past middle-aged sisters, discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of aging. With a little humor, a little heart, and occasionally a little frustration, we'll explore the unavoidable adventures we experience as we move into our golden years. Yeah, golden years, my ass. Just a note to our listeners, this podcast reflects the opinions and experiences of Sue and Shan. The main purpose of this podcast is intended to entertain.
We are now officially recording Unavoidable Adventures in Aging. Go.
Here we go. All right. Well, first of all, I guess, with apologies for not having a regular program the last
Friday.
couple weeks. Now, the one when we did Enough is Enough, that was, in solidarity with the rest of the nation, and they were doing the total shutdown. Yes. And that's why we didn't then. Last week, as we said in our little blurb, I hope somebody read,
That everybody read.
Families do come first. Things come up, and those things have to be handled before anything else. We're just all happy that we're in a position that we can do that.
Exactly right.
And help each other out when we need.
We're retired for a reason.
I know it. I know. A little bit of a trigger warning, I guess, today. We're going to be doing some political stuff the next couple weeks, really focusing on voting. That has been such a forefront in the news right now, along with all the other crap that he's bringing. But anyway, so lots of questions about voting. And this week we wanted to talk about, the name of this program today is Generations Unite.
Yes, I love the title because we've played with different titles. I'm happy with this title.
We did. And the boomer generation, because that's us, of course, we feel like we've done it all and we've seen it all, and how could anybody else know about any of this? Yeah. And you were reading
Kamala Harris's 107 Days. And so she talks towards the end about Generation Z. And I think that's what made us really stop to think about what they've been through, what Gen X has been through, which is also the millennials, right?
Right.
Millennia.
Gen Z starts in 1997 and goes through 2012. So they're on the young side.
Yes, coming into their own.
They're getting there. Millennials are 1980 to 1996. I think all of our kids would be
exactly
millennials. And then Gen X, they might as well be boomers right along with us, because they're...
Sorry, guys, but that's right, because they're in between. Because millennials is also Y.
Yeah.
65
to 79.
To 79. We missed some people in there, but okay.
Yeah. Well, and then boomers that's us, 46 to 64.
Who's in between 79 and 90? Oh, I wrote it wrong, didn't I? Whoops.
So millennials are 80.
There's my big gap.
Through 96.
Whew, everybody, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, Z, 97 to 12. Millennials, 80 to 96, meaning they were born during that time.
Exactly, right.
And X's were 65 to 79.
Yeah.
And then us, the boomers.
And we're 46 to 64. So
and before 46,
they were called the silent generation.
Oh, because they didn't get a title.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And they were from 1928 to 1945.
Okay, now we got everybody in there.
I think so.
And then here's the whole thing. Generations Unite. You started to talk about the boomers. And truly, I've done it a million times. Our generation went through this and this and this, and our generation, da-da-da. And when we stopped and we thought about it and looked at some of these, and we talked about Z, we talked about millennials, they have been through so much.
They have.
They've
They
been through
have
so
and
much.
I've got a list.
I want to hear.
Okay.
Is this mainly millennials?
Well, this is world events from 1980. Fall of the Berlin Wall was 89.
Okay.
Gulf War
Yep.
was 90-91. 9/11 was 2001.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
COVID 2020. The Columbine shooting
Oh,
was
yeah.
in 1999. Black Lives Matter 2020. Just the whole thing about climate change.
Yes.
They've been living through that for a long time, a very long time. Just the technology, the
Oh,
change in technology. And how far back does that go?
Right. I would say, because I can remember when we got our first computer in our home, and I would say Sean was middle school age, is when we got that. And just to say technology, there's so much that has come with that.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we start looking at social media and the negative that things that have affected young people because of social media, it's horrific. And we're just, and now AI,
I know.
and we're trying to filter through it,
Huge.
and it's so hard to do. They live in such an instant world.
Yes.
You know, you and I, we've talked about, gosh, I can remember getting caught at school passing a note to somebody.
Oh, boy.
And that was major. And of course, that was one note that you had to take time to write, that you had to go find
Yeah.
that person to hand it over to them,
And then you
or
had
hand
to-
it through someone.
Yes, and then you had to know the special way to fold it, remember?
Yes,
So
yes.
it looked like the little triangle or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. We
It was
put
nice
a lot of
and
work into those
well,
things.
and if you were going to have a medium between you, you know,
Uh-huh.
oh, will you
Oh,
go
yeah.
take this to Joe for
Yeah.
me? Then you had to have it folded really tight, or that person was going to.
Do you like me? Check one. Yes? No.
And then it'd take 2 or 3 days to get back to them. Now they say something horrendous
Oh,
online, and it's got a million
instant.
views.
Yep.
And learning how to navigate that.
I know. So they really have been through a lot that we don't give them credit for. Because everything that was special to us, just like in the 60s, no, they didn't experience that firsthand, but everything else they have.
Mm-hmm.
And lost it. Never mind.
Well, we haven't
it was
even
profound. but-
touched on what's happening right now
Exactly.
to the Constitution and the illegal acts that are happening, the horrendous acts that are
Completely
happening. And we're
illegal.
all living through that one.
Yes, but it's touching kids younger and younger. You know, I am very proud of those high schoolers who are leaving school
Yeah.
to go out and protest, and I'm proud too of the administrations that are letting them do it.
Yeah.
You know, there have been some instances even here in Nebraska. We had the
Right.
one kid who was run over in
Mhm.
Fremont.
Yes.
And in Grand Island, I think there was a quote unquote grown man who I don't know if it was the kids who threw a bottle of water at his car. He got out and beat the crap out of somebody. So yeah, they're feeling it too. And you know, some people might say, "Oh, they just want to get out of class." With high school age kids, they can be so passionate about things.
Right.
And this is, you know, it's affecting them and their friends and their families. And I think they're starting to look at too, is this my future?
Right.
They've lived enough in the, again, air quotes here, normal world before Trump took over. So they had a taste of what it was like. And they're old enough that they can look back and say, I remember when.
And when we talk about school age students right now, I can't imagine how it feels or what would I do if my classmates were disappearing.
Oh, I know. Or, you know, in some places they're just not going to school anymore.
Right.
And I do not blame them.
No, not at all.
And it doesn't matter anymore if you're an immigrant. You know, it could be anybody. So there are parents all over the place now who are saying, no, I'm not.
Right.
School is an unsafe place enough.
Yes.
I'm not going to send them into that. It's life. Ugh. So anyway, let's see. I think we've kind of wandered, not really wandered, but we started out with the whole thing that brought this together, that was was your idea because of Kamala Harris's book and the voting statistics that were in there. So let's go through some of those.
In 107 Days by Kamala Harris, and she talks about Trump won by a very, very, very narrow
small
margin.
Yes.
And if you look at the voting numbers, 1/3 voted for him, 1/3 voted for Kamala Harris, and 1/3 didn't vote.
At all. Yes.
And to not vote is as damaging as to vote for the wrong person. And I say wrong. I still feel that he's not the right person. So to vote for the wrong one. And so we look at how important it is to vote. And I know that in the next week or 2 weeks, we're going to be talking just mainly about voting.
Yes.
So today we're talking mainly about the generations and Generations Unite. She talked about the Gen Zers who are currently ages 13 to 28.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
not everybody's voting. You got a large number of them still in school, K-12 schools, and then some that are graduating, some that are starting have young families. So it's kind of a large one. But right now, they outnumber the baby boomers. And for the longest time, forever, baby boomers was the largest generation. And now we are finally starting to die off, and our numbers are finally going down some.
Yeah.
So let's see, how do I want to say this? Our power and how we vote, how we demonstrate,
Right.
what effects we have on governing bodies is now in line with those Zers. And so she talks about how important it is for us to mentor those people, to help get them registered to vote,
Yes.
to learn how to cut through all the crap of the advertising.
Yes.
That's huge. To try to figure out who's doing what and what they really believe in. And I'm losing my train. But anyway, so she talked about a young woman. So after Kamala didn't get the presidency, her husband was dining someplace, a business meeting, and a young woman, Mache was her first name, and she was the waitress there. And she wrote on the back of the menu and gave it to Kamala's husband, asking if he would deliver it to her. And she just talked about what an inspiration Kamala Harris was to her.
Yes.
And now it's her turn. She was to graduate high school that same month or within a month, and then was going to college, I think, Georgetown or somewhere. And, she knew her direction. She knew she wanted to do good for people around her and people of like colors or minorities or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the interesting thing was Kamala read that, and then she went to this girl's high school graduation.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That's presidential material, people.
Yeah, exactly. But she talks about how big of an impact these younger generations will have on everything.
Oh, yes.
That's happening around us.
Yes.
And so the biggest part was that we have got to quit saying, well, when I was your age, my generation, we got to quit doing that, and we got to help everyone to unite. More than ever, we have to unite and work together to make it better. And that is Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, folks. It's all of us.
Everybody.
There's a reason we have different political parties, because that makes a balance in the United States.
Yeah.
It's important.
And it's okay to have that opposing thought and beliefs and so forth, but not to the degree that it is.
Right.
When we're talking about the violence that's being accepted, the whole Epstein files, that, oh my God, that's another one that just, and that there are so many people still out there who will accept a felony president, but shoot somebody who, doesn't agree with them. it's too extreme.
Right.
And
I think a leader's one of the biggest responsibility for a leader
yes,
is to unite us, differences and all, and to unite us and get us to work together. That's
Exactly.
a leader's responsibility. The leader's responsibility is not to create division and
chaos
hatred
and
and
hatred.
chaos.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what a good leader
Yeah.
is, and that's what we need. And that's what Kamala was saying with this younger generation, is they are about to become our leaders. So we sure want them to be good human beings
exactly.
and loving individuals
And informed. I think
informed. And
well
I think
informed.
too, I think another thing that we've got to do is to explain to younger people and start to become the role model that love is far more important than hatred,
Exactly.
and that you can have a difference of opinion without hating someone.
We've lost that.
We have lost it.
completely.
We have lost it.
Huh.
The word compromise, I remember that used to be a Sesame Street song.
Was it really?
Yeah, there was one in there about compromising.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so true.
Uh-huh.
You got to learn how to compromise again.
Uh-huh. Oh.
You know, it just because somebody has a difference of opinion, strong or not,
Uh-huh.
you got to learn how to compromise.
Right?
It can't always be about me. It
Right.
just can't. And I can't get my way every time. And I think that's another thing that I've seen too is, I don't know how to explain this very well, but especially when I was at school, parents would think that because their child didn't learn well in a certain atmosphere, everything should change for that child.
Right.
They don't see the other 29 students that are in that same classroom.
Uh-huh.
They think it's all about their kid, and how their kid learns is the only way it should be taught. And we've lost that.
We have.
And now we have to reteach younger people that sometimes it's not going to be pleasant.
Yes.
You got to keep working.
And you've got to adapt.
Adapt. Yes.
And some days it's going to be exactly the way you want it and you need it. But other days it's not. I sure get that with being a teacher. So a lot of those just character traits. I remember when I was at St. Agnes and we had this program called was it the 7 Pillars of Character?
Yeah.
But like every month we would focus on a different characteristic. I can't even remember any of them now, but
That's how important they were.
yeah, but I think something like compromise,
Leadership, probably.
leadership, honesty, friendship, all of those things.
Well, and it used. See, we're doing that, Sue.
It used to be.
You
Sorry.
knew you were doing that, and I was doing
Yep.
it. It's important that we realize that it does take a village to raise a child.
Exactly.
All of us need to be a part of that child's life, and we all need to be a good role model for
Yes.
that child. And you can't be a good role model if all you're doing is spouting hate. Just can't.
We've got to give them credit for that whole list of things, and they had a much bigger list than this. These were just some of them
Right.
that I picked out. We've got to give them credit for these things that they have gone through and that they have been through, and that they are not the same as we were.
Right.
And that's okay.
And it's okay.
That's progress. That's, development. That's whatever.
You're right, because they're being raised in a whole different
Oh, my goodness.
society than
Yes.
you and I were raised. So that makes them different right
Uh-huh.
there. Sometimes it's about us coming into their lives.
Yeah.
Jump over old people
Uh-huh.
and become
Yes.
part.
Because in education, so important there, because when the technology really started taking off, I thought, I'm lost. I can't do this.
Right.
And instead
And
of
I-
trying, except with core math, I did try to bring people back to. If you want to add 2 plus 4, you add 2 plus 4. You don't find 5 other ways to do it. Anyway, so
And
yeah,
I'd be the one that says, but there are 5 other ways to do it.
yes,
So play with it until you get the one that works for you.
yes. So that as a teacher, you did have to find all those different ways and try each one of them
Right.
to see, because some kids were so visual and some were, whatever. But there's a whole education thing right there.
Yeah.
Yes. So what were some of the other, I had some some other statistics. You were talking about the largest, and they're currently the largest generation, 76.6%.
Oh, good. You had that. That's
I
what
did.
I'm searching for.
And then just different things. Estimated age of first marriages. In 1983, a woman was 22.8 and a man was 25.4. In 2003, they're getting older. Women 25, men 27.
Mm-hmm.
And now in not now, but in 23, women 28, men 30.
Wow.
So they're putting off a lot of those life events for whatever reason.
Right.
They're wiser.
They're wiser is right.
Yeah.
I had numbers. Okay, this is what happens when we don't record for
I
a
know.
couple weeks.
We've both got piles
We
of
lost
papers here.
everything.
Yes.
Because one of the other ones, and I don't know where I had it. Crap. Do you have the
Yep.
population numbers?
Not total population, no.
You go
Uh-uh.
ahead. And yeah.
But this was something, where did I take it from? Group America Now survey. 32% of millennials are liberal. Gen
32.
X 7. Boomer 26, Gen Z 31. So of the total population, 29% of the total population is liberal. 17 centrist, 33 conservative. So there's still...
Because we also talked about the number of people voting. Do we have that?
Oh,
I do know that
we
right
had
now,
that somewhere.
for the baby boomers, 65% of us
Yeah.
vote. It's a very large number. And then you can
yeah.
see that going down by each younger generation.
Yes.
So that's another thing we got to stress, how important it is to
It
vote. It is
It
so
is.
important to vote.
It is. And when we've been talking with Shelley about this, she said, and I think this is so important, you have to vote with others in mind.
Yes.
Don't just vote for what's best for you. Think about, if I vote for this candidate and they don't like this and such, well, that might not be such a big deal to me, but I know it is to younger generations.
Right.
So, yes, it's your vote. It's supposed to be your personal private vote, but some people think they need to find out how you voted. Think of all the different things out there that affect people, and that's kind of what some of the MAGAs are coming across now. Is they voted for they vote for Trump because he said he would. And now all of a sudden, people are losing their farms. Immigration is taking their relatives. So they were voting for what they personally wanted, yes. But there are, I don't know. I'm talking myself in circles here.
Also, in that respect of voting, you need to learn how it will affect upcoming situations. And of course, one for me would be women's right to health care. It isn't all about abortions. It is about women being able to choose the path they want in health care.
That's
and
right.
Of course, so many times somebody may say, oh, but I'm against abortion, so I need to vote that way. No, you need to look at the whole bill.
That's right.
You have got to look at the whole thing and realize what it does to everybody, not
Yes.
just yourself, or not just the negative that you see.
Sometimes it's an actual medical need,
Yes.
whether you live or die. Ectopic pregnancies, things like that. No, we can't touch any of that. She will die
Right.
if you don't. Well, but we can't.
And also that longevity of that whole thing, too. They've already shown how many less people are going into gynecology, physicians
Yes.
that are choosing gynecology.
Right.
So now we poor women are going to be short of doctors that are specific to our needs.
Exactly.
Because they're not going into that in the health professions
And
right
I think just birth rates are going down too, because
and that's what I was looking for, because it
women
has.
are thinking, if I'm not going to get the help I need, I'm not going to chance it.
Well, and I think a lot of people too are thinking, do I want to bring a child into this world? This world right now that I see, I'm not sure I want to bring a child in.
Yeah.
And so they're not having children.
Here's another one that I had. Millennials are the most educated generation,
Wow.
with Gen Z expected to follow in their footsteps. Gen Z is rapidly growing into their place in the workforce, replacing boomers leaving for retirement.
Yep.
So that's just another example of we're lessening as they're increasing.
I am looking at right now the birth rates in America. It since 1920 to 1910, 1920 to 2010, so almost 100 year. But half as many children are being born now.
Wow. Boy, have we really got off the topic again?
I don't even know what topic we're on.
I don't either.
We are saying,
Yes.
we, as generation what are we?
Boomers.
Boomers, there we go. Boomers. We have got to be the mentors to young people. We got to show them the importance of voting. We got to show them the importance of sifting through the negative advertising to find the right person. We got to help to teach them, young and old, that you got to think logically when you're hearing all these campaign promises, because if a politician is saying they're going to balance the national debt
It's not going to
in
happen.
3 months, it's not going to happen. You have
No.
to be realistic. And if they can't give you their detailed of we're taking these steps,
Yeah, not a concept.
not a concept.
Not a concept of a plan,
Yeah.
an actual plan.
It's not going to happen. So don't believe in everything you hear.
It keeps bringing up a word that I learned when we were doing one of our others called nihilism. And that's when people say, oh, my vote won't matter. I'm not going to bother. You know, just kind of a disinterest in the whole thing.
Right.
And those two are the people who get us into so much trouble.
Yeah.
And I used to be one of those people. I think that's what people think is, it's only one vote. If you vote this way and I vote the other, we cancel
So
each other out.
Oh, God.
But at least we're doing something.
That used to always be the saying. You
Yeah.
couldn't bitch about a politician if you didn't vote.
Exactly.
So if you're not voting, kind
Shut
of don't
up.
have the right to.
That's right.
So get
Just-
out there and
yeah.
vote. I
Yeah.
think too, because we keep talking about Generations Unite, which is kind of what we're supposed to be talking about. But it is so much about voting. It doesn't matter what we talk about with age and what every generation's been through and whatnot. It's the voting that makes us different. It is
Yes.
the voting that created the democracy. It is the voting that's going to give you a better tomorrow. Voting is,
Yeah.
no matter what, as long as
And
you're
it-
old enough to vote, you should vote.
And it is your constitutional right.
Constitution. I just saw something too that it had that one. Oh,
Oh, that thing Shelley sent us. Yes.
about the
So many women still, or whoever needs to hear this, women think that all they need is their driver's license to vote. No, they're changing that. You need your birth certificate. And in my case, I've been married and divorced twice. So I need my birth certificate. I need both documents showing that I had a name change. And just to be safe, I'm going to take in my divorce decrees too.
yeah.
You have to have all that information. No, your driver's license will not do it. And she was saying that people are going, oh, well, I need a license to drive. I
yeah.
need a license to drink. Those aren't constitutional rights.
Exactly. Voting is a constitutional right.
Yes.
And the Save
For all.
Save Act, right, is what
Save
it is.
Act. Right.
And no matter how you look at it, folks, it's all about cutting back the numbers that can vote.
Yes.
So anybody that they can squash, women, minorities, they're going to do it because they don't want us voting. It is a constitutional right. And I shouldn't have to show 8 pieces of documentation
Because I'm a woman.
because I'm a woman and I am allowed to vote. It's ridiculous. It's hard enough anyway for a woman. And I remember after I got married and I had to go get my new driver's license, and I didn't think anything of it. I hyphenated my last name, but they wouldn't change it until I brought my marriage license in.
Oh my God.
And I yelled at the man.
Yeah.
And I said, when a man gets married, does he have to bring in his marriage license to prove to you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And of course, poor guy, he's like, no, well, that. So I went and got my marriage license. I did apologize to him. I shouldn't have had to even apologize. And I understand that was a name change. I get it.
Yeah.
I looked at it more so that just because I'm married, I now have to carry around more documentation because of blah, blah, blah.
The SAVE Act, if I'm correct, it has passed the House.
Correct.
It still has to pass, what's the other
Senate.
one? Senate, thank you. And there's a lot of information about it out there right now. So
Write to your senators and say, come on, folks, you're taking away
ridiculous.
one more right from women.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas, we could do a whole podcast
Yes,
on
we
what we
could.
have lost in the last few years.
Yes, definitely. Okay, there's another squirrel. I don't know, maybe we should just call this
Done?
Ramblin' Rose or something.
I know it.
We've gone all over the place with this, but
I don't know how I'm going to edit
I don't know
this
how
one.
you're going to edit it.
Okay, let's just do takeaways, see what we end
Let's
up with.
do.
And
Yeah.
my takeaway was someone sent me a picture of a rally sign, and I thought, wow, it means a lot. Anyway, the sign said, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I see so many politicians right now and appointed, and I'm thinking, you don't realize this, but you are on the wrong side of history.
Oh, I know it.
And your name will be known for that forever.
Forever. And hopefully, after all this is over, you will be held accountable. You will.
Yes. What's
Yeah.
your takeaway?
My takeaway is
Squirrel?
Squirrel. This is a huge topic, and I think at least I was, and we've been talking about this too, that there's a fine balance between living your normal life and just going on la 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 and being outraged by all of this. Well, again, you need that balance. The situations right now should not dictate the quality of my life. And it's okay to be la la la. And you have to be to keep your sanity.
Yeah.
And I think that was why, kind of why we were choosing these types of topics right now is there's so much going on out there. And we felt that we needed to address some of it. But even before we started this one, you and I were saying, I wish we had just a funny kind of podcast to do
Easygoing
today.
podcast for today.
Because
yeah.
we didn't want to do this. But you have to. You have to be in it. But don't let it take away who you are and take away your joy and
Right.
your happiness. So
Yeah, and that's a hard thing.
it is.
Because if you don't have some kind of joy in all of this,
Yeah.
it turned to hate. And
Right.
we got to stay away from it,
Yes.
folks. We got to
Yeah.
stay away from the hate.
Leslie had sent me a good, the little speeches that people give. And this guy was talking about joyful resistance.
Yes.
And, the frogs.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was one of the parts of Minnesota, in Minneapolis, they were sledding.
Yes, they did.
They were protesting and showing resistance, but they were taking time to have some fun with all of it. So that's that balance we've got to find.
Yeah,
So,
and it's okay. Kamala Harris, in her book, 107 Days, wrote, "This generation is the destiny of our country and the world."
yes.
So, absolutely, young people, they are. Okay. Wow. We have a website. We really do. Unavoidable.life. Unavoidable.life. Our email, if you ever want to get a hold of us or share some thoughts with us, unavoidableaging@gmail.com. We are on quite a few different podcasts. We are really working on sharing with others and sharing with friends so that we get more listeners. So please share with others.
That's right. That's right. We hope you'll want to listen to us again after this show. We do. We finish these shows from time to time and go, oh boy, that was not good. This one really didn't feel good. We had a lot of information, but it had no flow
Yeah.
to it.
And I think I lost a lot of information.
Yeah.
I'm going through this stack of paper and I can't find some of the stuff I
Yeah,
had.
you'll
so.
going through that and say, "Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
'Cause- Oh well.
Oh,
Let's-
well.
We need to wrap this up. Yes. So,
God, we do. Oh.
oh, enjoy yourself. Laugh at yourself. Embrace the power of your aging, and remember,
You're not knucking futz.
You're just aging.
Now, personally, I kind of feel like I am knucking
Yes,
futz.
today definitely.